Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to be here with my colleagues, Senator Casey, Senator Cardin, Senator Durbin, and Senator Coons, to talk about the need to pass the START Treaty this month before we go home for the holidays and before the end of this session of Congress. There is bipartisan consensus among national security experts that New START is in our national security interest. We have a list of validators, but it covers virtually everyone, Republican and Democrat, in the national security, military, and foreign policy establishment. They support this treaty because they understand that right now it has been 376 days since we've had inspectors on the ground in Russia looking at what's going on with Russia's nuclear arsenal. So all of this begs the question, what's behind the continued resistance to address the treaty? The majority of the arguments that I've heard against this treaty are arguments about process and politics. There is widespread support on the substance of this treaty. So for senators to be voting no for political reasons is just irresponsible. Regarding process, I think it's important to review and to provide a historical context for what's happened on previous START treaties. First of all, since the treaty was signed in April, the entire treaty text has been readily available to senators, and it has not changed. So anyone who wanted to look at the treaty since April has been able to do that. There have been over 20 hearings that have been held. The administration has answered over 900 questions. Now, I know that there are senators who are taking the responsibility to address this issue seriously, and I respect that. We're all committed to making sure that there is time to address the issues raised by START on the floor. But again, I think we should put this in some historical context, because START 1, the first START treaty, was the first of its kind. It was more complicated than the treaty that's before us, and yet it only took 5 days of floor time. START 2 took 2 days. The SORT treaty took 2 days. We have more than 2 days between now and the end of this session. When the Senate considered the treaty around conventional forces in Europe, it took 2 days. The Chemical Weapons Convention Agreement took 2 days. The fact is, we have time to consider this treaty. It's in the country's national security interest. And General James Cartwright today, who is the Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said, and I quote, "All the Joint Chiefs are very much behind the treaty. We need START, and we need it badly." And I would just add to that, we need it now, before the end of the year, before the end of this session. Thank you.